All right, let's do it.
Yeah, right,
Nice.
we're away.
We're already recording,
All right.
so we're live anyway.
So we are live at number 1 The Crescent in Selby, and we're pleased to announce we have Big Phil Sarabia with us, who's due to play at the next centre stage, Part 2, on Friday the 5th of August. How are we doing, Phil?
Well, very well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're more than welcome.
My first ever podcast.
Yeah, excited.
It's our second ever podcast now, this one. Your first, our second.
Harry was well impressed. You're doing a podcast? That's fantastic. When can we see it?
Yeah, it's it'll be coming out soon. Sometime before the event.
Is Harry the youngest one?
Harry's the elder one.
The elder one?
Yeah. Yeah, it's all good.
Jack.
Harry.
The other one, Jack.
So, yeah.
It's the other one, Jack.
Yeah, Jack, the
Jack's
younger
the
one.
younger
I like Harry and Jack.
Oh, yeah, shout out to Harry and Jack.
Yeah. So you're looking forward to the 5th of August then, mate? Are you going to be ready? Are you going to be prepared?
You know me.
Born prepared.
That's no then.
Yeah, no, we're all right. I've got a couple of songs brewing. Hopefully they'll be ready and to go.
Oh, some new songs.
2. Well, I've got about 5 ideas which are brewing lovely, but 3 of them are still way off. 2 of them are nearly there.
You'll know when they're ready though, don't you? You know.
Yeah. Well, it's like the New Year's Eve gig that we did. Them 2 songs weren't ready or anywhere near, but the last day or so beforehand just fell into place. It's like just a bit of practice, and I pulled it off.
Yeah, sometimes that happens.
Of course
it's mental.
And you just fall into it.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah, nice. Well, I can't wait to hear some new stuff because obviously we've been seeing you for
I'll send you some.
supporting us and doing your own gigs, and we've been seeing you a lot over the last year or so. So it's been.
And thanks again for agreeing to do this. We know you like your original music as well. You came to the first centre stage and you sat there all night and watched everybody. So that's brilliant.
What we're looking for, so I really appreciate it.
Always glad to support.
Yeah, but obviously, again, you support us, but you enjoy it as well.
I love it. You never know.
Because of the diversity of acts.
You never know.
You never know what gem's going to stand your hairs on the back of your arms.
Exactly,
like, wow, that's mint.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's usually me.
Brilliant.
I'm not being arrogant or out.
No, absolutely not. Definitely not.
Definitely not. We'll start with a question before he gets too big for his breeches and he gives him too much praise.
Yeah, his head won't be able to fit out of the door. So, first question. At what age did you first get into music? And can you remember the first song you ever heard or listened to?
I can't remember the first song what I ever heard.
It's a long time ago. I mean,
that's
the 1920s was a long time ago.
You think I'm old? He's even older than me.
Yeah. Don't look it though, Dudesy. Don't look it.
No.
I don't. I know I don't. I'm not
a day of 55,
That's awesome.
mate. Not a day of 55.
Well, I got into music. Bloody hell. I think my first instrument that I played was a recorder at infant school.
I think everybody got our sort of era did the
really
recorder. Was it Three Blind Mice sort of thing?
London's burning, London's burning.
Really bad in that tune, like squeaking away. Yeah.
And but musically, it was my mum. Always listened to the Beatles, Queen, that type of music. And I'd say one of the first songs would have been. I remember she had the Help album. I used to listen to that on the old radiogram. That's going back a few years, you know what I mean? But one of the first things I remember was Grease.
The film Grease.
Yeah, the film Grease. We had the soundtrack and loved it. Brilliant,
banging.
as a kid as well. It was just amazing. So
shout out to Phil's mum.
What's this?
Yeah, shout out to Phil's mum.
What's this?
Yeah.
And then getting into music, I suppose I started playing the guitar at school in the infants. Just your basics, you know what I mean? And we did, there was me and a mate called Mark Walmsley.
Shout out to Mark Walmsley.
We sort of set up a little band, but we were sort of doing like Adam and the Antsy typey stuff.
Nice.
You know what I mean? That sort of stuff.
Was that Prince Charming?
Prince Charming? No, it was the other one. But
Is that what got you into the drums then?
Yeah, to a certain degree, I suppose. But my cousin, our Stay, big up our Stay, he was massive into the Police.
Oh, great band.
And that's where I really thought, hang on a second, I like that. You know what I mean? But they were quite punky early days. You know what I mean? And I sort of got to like that vibe. But he also got me into the jam. But I was never a massive fan of the jam. I just liked certain songs that they did.
I'm kind of the same with the jam. Like, there's certain songs that are just amazing that I, you know.
I mean, I love Weller. I've been to see Weller, and I'm not a massive fan of him, but there's 6 or 7 songs that he does.
Is that your foot scraping on the floor going?
It is.
No, I don't know.
Sweaty foot. Go on, mate. Sorry.
But went to see Weller, like I say about the jam and stuff, and he's done 6 or 7 songs that are probably up there in my top 20 or top 30. You know what I mean? Nice. But yeah, then I started playing the drums when I was 12, 13 when I went to high school, because we had a music room there and there was a drum kit.
Oh, nice.
And there was some drum lessons came about. And no, tell a lie. The first time I played the drums is when I lived in Teesside. The lad next door but one, who was friends with my mum and dad, he had a drum kit. And one night I was in bed and he just got this, and I was like, "What the hell's that?" That's mint. Anyway, the following day I went round, and this lad were in bed. I was only a kid then, and I said, "Oh, can I have a go?" He was like, "Yeah." And within about 2 minutes, I had a very simple beat, and he's like, "You're playing the drums."
Did it feel like 2 minutes?
Felt like
Shout out, feels like 2 minutes.
So I suppose that was the start of my drumming career. But we did, at school I did proper drum lessons, paradiddles and all that type of thing, and I hated it.
Oh, really?
Couldn't stand it. And as soon as he taught me that, I left, and that was it. And then I borrowed the school kit for 6 weeks holidays.
Oh, nice.
And it was funny. It was being on the radio today. A song called "Alive and Kicking."
Yeah,
Simple Minds.
And it's got a break on the break foot. Dum, 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 dum. And I practiced that until I got it, and that's where my influence came from on that, the bass pedal.
Nice.
So yeah,
because just for the purposes of the video, if you didn't know, Phil is just like one of a massively good drummer.
Thank you.
Really, really good drummer. But you're not playing drums on the 5th of August. You are just guitar, acoustic guitar. So
I keep getting sacked from bands and stuff. I used to be in a band with these two.
Brilliant.
But they weren't loud enough, I'll tell you.
Too melodic.
But yeah, and then, like I say, I've been in a couple of bands, to be honest with you. I've been in a few bands now.
So who's your biggest influences then?
What, for drums or just music?
Just generally.
Whatever.
Oh God, it's massive.
Yeah. Who would you say, like, your current, like the music you're doing now, solo, the way you're doing it? Is there any like particular person or band or artist that's kind of really driving that? Cause
I'd say something like my strum pattern is very punky stroke.
I was going to say
which has got a hint of Block Party.
Yeah, sure.
Sort of Queens of the Stone Age.
I was going to say Queens, but you've got that also. You've got that off rhythm tune. It's very Block Party. You know the one that thank you for. It's very kind of Block Party-esque in the way that they all did that stuff offbeat.
That's them, but like my influence, I'd say like Rage Against the Machine. But as a kid, like listening to Public Enemy, Tribe Called Quest. Hip hop was massive.
Hip hop,
when
hip hop was good.
Hip hop, you know what I mean. Back then,
it was actually good.
I still love it now, you know what I mean.
I've not heard anything decent like the newer way of hip hop isn't anything like I listen to a lot of like Dre and stuff. I mean the sound of that kind of 90s, I guess late 80s, 90s, early 2000s hip hop. The hip hop that I like is so different from hip hop now.
Oh, without a doubt.
It's not to say it's bad. It's just that I can't find anything new that I like. I still, if I want to listen to hip hop, I still go back to like Jurassic 5 or Beastie
Concrete
Boys
Jungle.
as well. To a certain
Beastie Boys, they were massive for me. NWA were massive.
NWA,
you know what I mean?
You know, I love that.
Ice Cube.
Got that greatest hits. Their greatest hits on downloaded on.
But for me, it was like The Message.
Yeah, 100.
You know,
100%.
But when that first came out, White Lines. You know what I mean? That was just when that first came out. Herbie Hancock, Rocket. It's like, what the hell's this? It was just phenomenal. In my that
blew your mind,
you know. But that was hip hop to me. You know, that's what I call hip hop now. Is this British UK rap?
Like drill and stuff.
It's don't get me wrong. See, I don't listen to the words. It's all about the groove for me.
Yeah,
it's
100%,
got to have that, you know.
I think it's always been the case with you. It's been the groove more than what the song's about.
And bass.
Yeah, of course.
I
You love your
bass.
subwoofers. I'm gonna get a subwoofer. I'm gonna get a subwoofer. I need a bigger subwoofer.
Correct.
I need a 2 gig subwoofer at least. Like,
Correct.
dude, you're playing acoustic guitar on your own. You don't need a subwoofer. Yeah.
Get the bass pedal and the bass connected. Anything else can go fuck itself.
Can I?
You know what I mean?
Harmonies, melodies, nah, just a bass and the drums. Is all we need.
Yeah, dead right.
But you know, I can see that that influence on the way you write songs. So it's interesting that it's like you said, what you said, especially when you said Queens of Stone Age, because I can feel a lot of that in the patterns and stuff you do in the songs you write. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Good
But
stuff.
there's so many.
I know, there's so much.
You
There's
know,
so many to pick from, isn't there?
Like I said, Police earlier, you know what I mean? They were massive. Radiohead.
Radiohead are my favourite.
Another
you know,
one,
so,
you know what I mean?
yeah,
Again,
yeah,
it's just
yeah.
like...
That's
Ra-
it, you've
when,
gone from sort of like hip hop, and then all of a sudden it's just like Radiohead.
But then-
It's a nice to have a nice
Variety.
Oh,
range
yeah.
of variety,
But
yeah.
for about 4 years, I did a lot of DJing, which was all like what they call hardcore, which was all like drum and bass sort of breakbeat stuff. Then it went to house, but most of my stuff was all good feel piano, and it had to have the groove.
Yeah.
You know, and that feeling when you put a record on and the whole place is bouncing, that's the feeling you want from that. And you know, and one day hopefully I'll get people dancing.
Yeah, hopefully.
You know,
I mean, like, I don't agree with you necessarily. That's the only because I mean, I like the intricacies. Whenever I was doing in my raving days, I was into like minimal techno because I liked the things you couldn't hear in the track, like because minimal techno is so stripped back. I loved all those bits. That's why I'm a big Radiohead fan. I remember when you came around to my house one time and we watched Radiohead in the basement. You know, we did that thing, and both of us we're both chatterboxes, but we just sat there and watched the whole thing for an hour and didn't say anything. Just like because it just the
I've watched that since
intricacies.
as a kid
Oh yeah,
as
it's
well.
so good. Yeah, it's
Phenomenal.
One of the best things on YouTube. It's just if you haven't checked it
Why
out.
wasn't I invited?
Because I don't like you.
Yeah.
Fuck you then. I'm going solo.
We would debate the sacking you then.
I didn't sack anyone. What are you going to be for?
But go-
I'm gonna copy the concept of centre stage and do something else somewhere else.
Good for you.
Are you going to call it musical variety night?
Yeah, go with you.
We might have to edit that bit out.
I did nothing out. You stealing bastard.
But as for like the modern day influences, Bombay Bicycle Club, Falls.
Yes. Falls. I remember that video you played
live
me,
at radio.
and I'd not heard any Falls before. Was it at the Abbey Road?
Yeah, that's a
Falls
great.
at Abbey Road. Shout out to Falls.
What went down?
That was just unreal.
But for me,
Unbelievable.
a band that's
To
not just
live
about the
as
song,
well.
it's about the performance.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You know,
I agree with you there.
If you watch, what do you call them now, Wolf Alice.
Wolf Alice.
Yeah, they're very, very good.
Yeah, they did Glastonbury they did Leeds and Reading, and she had a pink dress on. That was a great gig for them, and this one as well. The Glastonbury, a really good gig. But I tell you what, who influenced me of late was Jack White at Glastonbury. Watch that, Jack White. What a great performance.
Yeah, I haven't seen
really heavy bluesy.
Oh, okay.
But he just smashes it. You know what I mean? You're like, God.
I think that's the whole thing about sort of like going to watch a live band. Now, if you're going to go watch sort of like somebody like Pink Floyd, for example, back in the day with all the lights in effect, that's where the experience came from, the music and the lights. Whereas you go see somebody like Wolf Alice, where it's just them on stage, proper giving it some, and musically it's brilliant as well.
There's those ability to have that. There isn't one thing as entertaining. You know, there's like multiple. I remember going to see the Hives at Reading, I think it was. This is going back like I don't know 2001, maybe 2. I can't remember. And they didn't sound great. They didn't play particularly amazingly. They came on with that album, which is like I don't know 28 minutes long. But it was just so fast. There was no pauses. It was just bang, bang, bang. It was a whirlwind. Everyone was just buzzing because it just
Isn't that album about 30 minutes
like,
long
I think
or
it's
something
28
like that?
minutes and
28 minutes, that's it, yeah.
It's just so punchy and
each song's about like
exciting.
2 minutes.
That's
about it.
Feels like 2 minutes.
Feels like 2 minutes. Shout out to Feels Like 2 minutes.
It was they're not like necessarily like the Hives. You wouldn't class the Hives as like a great band, but just the energy they had on stage. not like a Pink Floyd or Radiohead, but just that energy, you know.
But I suppose some of my stuff's a bit hive-ish with that
kind of like punk pattern. Yeah, sure. Yeah,
you know, but at the end of the day, the stuff I'm doing now is on acoustic.
Yeah,
but in my head, there's no acoustic in sight apart from maybe the odd 1 or 2 songs.
Yeah, sure.
The rest of it is gonna be. You know.
Yeah, and I've seen you before play live, and you can see the energy and the passion, and the more you play, the better you get. Same with anything really. The more you do it, the more practice you do it, the better you're going to get. But you know, you feel more comfortable on stage now. So I'm looking forward to seeing you on the 5th, because 5th of August, Friday the 5th of August, number 1 the Crescent, Selby, centre stage. Shout out to number 1 the Crescent again.
But I've never really
been. Hi girls. Chris Allen just joined us.
I've never really been uncomfortable on stage though. You know, because
it feels like you're more comfortable in your ability rather than it being uncomfortable. You trust yourself more.
Because I'm now doing solo stuff with my guitar, but getting up never really bothers me. Because I've done it with my DJing, my band stuff, and that. I just get up and do it.
I just think now the more you're doing it, and the more you've practiced, you just feel that you can feel more relaxed on stage.
Oh, thank you. I'll take that as a compliment.
Yeah, you should take it as a compliment. That's good. Right, let's go to question number 4.
What's been, obviously you've not done very many gigs, but what's been your best, most notable gig to date?
Since
going solo?
Since going solo. I suppose it was a New Year's Eve gig.
That was a good gig.
For one, it
was the Owl in Hamilton, wasn't it? Shout out to the Owl in Hamilton.
Shout out to the Owl. Because originally I asked if I could just warm up for half an hour, unpaid, just for you lot. But as it turns out, someone backed out. And they said, "Do you want to do it?" And I'm like, "Shit, yeah, go on then." And it went down a storm.
It was brilliant. It was really good night.
You did really good, yeah. You played really well that night. It was a really good night.
And I did it on electric.
Well. And you were stood up as well, which I think helped as well. But yeah, it was on the electric, which I actually really liked. I thought it sounded really good.
Yeah, well, I'm like that. Should I go electric again or go that?
I thought it actually sounded better. Not necessarily better, but I thought the tone of the guitar just felt more... Because like acoustic... You're always going to get that kind of like metallic ring to it, but electric, because you can like fiddle with everything electronically. You can get that sound more. You know, you can kind of like tweak it more. That it sound like acoustics can be a bit difficult to to get the sound that you're looking, especially like punky stuff. I mean, we do similar kind of like fast-paced stuff. You know, like that kind of.
And you for me, on that little guitar that I got off Adam, I can hammer it, absolutely hammer it. It just seems to take it and. But then you can...
Seems to fall out of tune a little bit, especially when you're pressing the strings
well, that's
too
the problem,
as well.
My big sausage fingers is
We all have big sausage fingers, mate. Well, apart from girly pants here.
Skinny girly fingers. Wonky fingers, don't go the right direction anymore.
Mind you, he can stretch. I can't stretch because of this bloody knackered finger.
Oh, yeah. But I'd say that was my best gig.
Yeah, but
just going on to another gig, I've got a little thing now that I do. I always cheer myself. I've told you this story before, but
we know.
For the sake of this, I'm going to tell this story. We did a gig once, and you remember it, and nobody clapped. And and I turned around to you, I think it was, and I said, I thoroughly enjoyed that. And at that moment for me, it was like, I'll never expect a clap ever again. You know, and then from that moment
the sound was really shit that
night
as well, wasn't it?
It doesn't matter about the sound now.
I kind of enjoyed it, but it was just like, it was so frustrating at the same time. I was ridiculously pissed off as well.
Oh yeah, of course we were, because that was out of our control. But the fact of the matter is, massive lessons came from there.
Yeah,
a thing that I do, a trait I've got now, and I'll always do it now, is at the end of every song I cheer myself.
We know,
as you well know, And it's people say, "Oh yeah, go on, Phil." And, Ant, big shout out to Ant. He's like, "I love it, Phil. I love that you do that. It's so positive." He said that you're the most positive man after the song's finished that I've ever heard, because you're like, way. But that's just me.
I'm not so much of a fan, but I do like it. Like it's kind of endearing, you know. Like
I'm always going to do it.
Well, I know you are, but like at first I was like, "We should stop doing that." But now I can just laugh. It's funny. It's kind of cool. I like it. Yeah,
it is what it is, isn't it?
It is what it is. I know you're not going to listen to me and ever stop. So I'm just like, you're not going to listen to me. So
in fact, when I do a song tonight, I cheer myself as well.
You're going to cheer him. I know you're going to cheer yourself.
It's like somebody telling Rich what to do. It's just like, no, he's not going to do that. He's going to do the complete opposite.
I'm a contrarian though, so
especially if it's the government.
Oh, if it's the government, I'll definitely do anything.
No
shout.
I'm doing what they say.
So let's go on to number 5.
Ooh, this is a good question. So if you were stranded on a desert island, right, and you could pick one artist, dead or alive, to jam and make music with, who would it be and why?
So like Blind Date, you know. There's questions in Blind Date.
And all the instruments are there. You could play whatever you want.
You can do whatever you like, yeah.
Whatever
just
you like.
Want to make music
just
with.
one
Probably
artist.
probably Tom Morello.
Tom Morello, good choice.
Yeah, out of Rage Against the Machine, because that man is just class. What he makes sounds out of that thing.
Yeah.
So would you play drums or would you play the guitar?
Drums.
Drums, yeah. I'd definitely say go drums if you're going to have him there.
Yeah, without a doubt. That'd be a groove, that, without a doubt.
Oh, yeah.
So why would you pick him then? Just for the groove?
If you ever listen to him or the stuff he does is. When I used to do DJing, like hip hop DJing, you can do what you call cutting and scratching. You can go. Bah, 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 bah. He does a lot of that with the guitar. Bah, 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 bah. It's like what?
Yeah, some brilliant effects.
Yeah.
The uniqueness of the music they made was just phenomenal because it wasn't. It had all the elements of so many genres. You couldn't say it's that. It was just crossed so. You can hear everything in there. You know?
The bigness they have.
Massive.
That's what I'm all about. The come on.
Yeah, when I went to music college in London a few years back, the tutor that was sort of like obviously teaching us, he used what's it called? The second album, I think, the one with Killing in the Name. Basically he used the song Killing in the Name as just like. This is kind of like the epitome of how a decent recording should be. Yeah. It was massive, and obviously.
Is that something in Los Angeles, isn't it? The album, I think.
I'll find that now.
I'm not sure, but obviously, yeah, Killing in the Name, and just the massive, and he uses Tom Morello uses a pedal to go up an octave. You know when he's doing that?
Yeah.
So he's using this pedal to go. So he's going up sort of like an octave, but this pedal's taking him up an extra octave. Yeah. That's where you get the.
Yeah. It's really clever.
Unbelievable. Really clever.
Brilliant, yeah.
And he wears his guitar very high.
He does wear his guitar. Yeah, he does wear his guitar very high. Yeah, that kind of pushing the boundaries of what you can do in a studio and with technology like pedals and stuff is phenomenal to me.
Yeah, but he does it live.
Oh yeah, I know he does it live. He sat in a studio and was like, he worked out, what he can, what he could do.
Yeah.
You just give him free rein. Off you go, make your album. Who's the guy who was in, that amazing documentary about Dr. Dre and Jimmy. Iovine, the Defiant ones.
Mm-hmm.
He's talking about a dude, and it was like a metal band in like
9 Inch Nails.
9 Inch Nails.
Yeah.
I don't know why I forgot 9 Inch Nails. Can't believe that. But yeah, the sound they made, just
Trent Reznor.
Trent Reznor, just bonkers, just off you go, make your music. And that fullness of just all the things coming together.
Of course it is.
And Radiohead have got that as well. You listen to
but to me, you've got artists, and the other side of it is your producers. That's a completely different art form in itself.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
when we met Dom, we went to the studio with Dom, and he didn't mix that. He just put a little something together, and when we did it as well, he made us sound big.
Yeah, well, it's all to do with like little effects and stuff like that.
Of course it is.
There's no tweaks to it.
But he did that off his own back, and we didn't. Especially like Feels Like 2 Minutes. We didn't tweak that at all. That's just, we said, here, there you go. And it's like, what? That is mint. And 1999, another, but that was tweaked a little bit, but it made it sound phenomenal.
It's amazing what you can do in the studio, having, obviously we've got some experience doing it ourselves now, and the amount you can do without affecting the sound. Because when we first started doing it, we were just banging effects and everything, just going overboard. But, you kind of get to, less is more. Just finding the right, the right less that makes it.
Keep it raw.
Try and not necessarily
keep the mistakes in there as well.
No, don't keep the mistakes.
Absolutely not.
Disagree there.
But I completely disagree.
It's real then, though, and it's real.
Well, it's a demo.
Great shout. That's a great shout for your person. I hadn't have even twigged with that, so that's a.
No, good, yeah.
That was a really good shout. So yeah, amazing.
All right, brilliant. Thanks, mate.
What are we on to now?
So, next question.
Number 6. Yeah.
If you could, how would you improve the local music scene to get more folk playing and coming out to see original music? Anything, whatever comes to head. Because whatever you say on this video and it's good, we're nicking it, right?
That's fair enough. I don't know really. It's how do you get people, like you say, not everybody, a lot of people does the covers because that's what the majority of people want.
I don't think
it's not what the people want. I think it's what a lot of bars want.
No,
because they want people to come in, people have a good sing along, which is like. We're talking originals now.
Yeah, well, we're talking originals, but I don't mean to offend anybody, but the narrow-mindedness of people who like pop just want that. Play Oasis like you said. All that stuff.
If I hear whatever Oasis one more time,
at the end of the day,
I'm just going to slip my wrist now.
At the end of the day, they are great shows, and that's why people want to listen to them.
Yeah, I agree. I agree to some extent. What I would say is that if that's always going to exist, so it's about trying to find ways around that, and we can create our own scene where we can, have people come and play.
But it's like when you do original music, you don't get paid for it.
Not as much.
To start off with, so you need the people who are willing who for the love of it, will come out like myself. I'll come support you. I'll come do an open mic and stuff. And
just to go on that point there, that's the beauty of this whole concept, this centre stage. It's like everybody we've asked.
You don't get paid nothing, mate. You don't pay people who cheer their own song.
You get a cup of tea. But everybody we've asked has been like, and we've said, look, unfortunately it's not a paid gig, but obviously we have the bucket, which kind of like made a little bit last time. But everybody's been, I just want to come and play my songs.
Because so many people have just stopped from playing their songs or talked out of it, or especially in Selby,
But at the end of the day, that'll get what will get it out there is if the songs are good.
I agree, yeah. If people are good, the artists
are good. If someone comes in and there's a bunch of people listening to it and someone plays a few songs and they think, what a great tune and what an even better performance, they're going to want to hear it again.
Yeah. And it's like going to a gig. I always make a point of going to see the support bands at gigs because the amount of bands I've discovered from them being a support band, and they've blown me away more than the actual person or band I've actually gone to see.
Yeah.
So that's the other beauty of it.
Is there anything like you think we could do to get more people out for certain stages? Anything that do you think that you reckon that we've missed, or because obviously we're happy to take any advice?
It's a tough one.
Or just ideas, if you throw some ideas around.
You don't have to answer. It's fine.
Don't mean to put you on the spot.
Just keep the accent.
If I knew that, I'd be a music manager.
Yeah.
Making a bar show.
Fair enough. All right, cool. So, what have you got coming up? Where can we find you? Where can we find your music? What are you going to do? What's the plans for the future?
At the moment.
Yeah.
Are you still planning?
Any plans for it?
Yeah, apart from the 5th of August, that's the only gig I've got booked at the moment. But my plan is, I'm off. Hopefully, in about 4 weeks now. The time's coming down. I'm looking for. I'm going to come and see you, Rich, to get some stuff down.
Yeah.
But if I can find Dom...
Shout out to my studio.
Yeah, shout out to Natural
shout out to Natural Antagonist Studio.
And,
shout out to Dom, wherever you are, Dom.
Dominic Smith.
Is that his second name? I never knew he was called Smith.
Yeah. I just want to build a track myself. I'm playing the drums, I'm playing the bass, I'm doing my own backing vocals, and I want to make an album. But within that album, I want to take off the singing and the guitar or bass or whatever I'm doing at the front, and then play the whole lot to myself, where there's no musical differences. We're all heading in my direction. Not going to dig their voice, but
No, but that's it. You're in complete control.
And I won't have to put like a blanket over my drum kit to quieten me down.
Oh my god!
I've never. I personally, that was not me. But back in the bands, back in the days of Bull in China, an old band I used to be in with Phil.
I know who that band is.
For the purposes of the video. Obviously, I think it was Dav and Adam put a blanket over the top of his drums to try and quieten him down.
Too loud.
But that was when Dav and Adam were like pinkety pankety.
I think we made quite a lot of noise for the three of us.
Sorry, Dav.
As well?
I think we made quite a lot of noise for the three.
Us three?
Yeah.
Oh, we made some right noise.
You know, one of the best gigs I ever did was the one in North Duffield.
That was a gig. That was pretty
brilliant. We smashed it that night.
Yeah, we did smash it. You know what I mean? We were in control of our own sound. We want some out front doing it all wrong.
And it was loud.
It was really loud.
Yeah, it was quite small. The ceilings were really low in that place, weren't they?
It made so much fucking noise.
It was great. I remember doing Feels Like 2 minutes at the end, and afterwards my mum was like, yeah, that was loud.
I think we just went off. I think we just kept turning everything up. Like every time, just kept turning it up. Every song was like, keep turning it up.
That's what it's all about, isn't
it? Crank it. So hopefully we'll be able to. Well, actually, we're going to see you here on the 5th, which I can't wait to see you.
I am going to get my act together, get the music page done, and get some stuff.
Do.
And
but we're looking forward to you playing on the 5th.
Yeah, the faster you do it, the more people will get following you, and hopefully they can hear great songs as well. So
I'm not quite ready for it yet, but I will. I'm getting there. You know what I mean?
It's
coming together.
Obviously, with this, we're going to be recording the same as with the first centre stage. We're going to be recording the whole night, video and audio, sticking it all together. So obviously that's some content for you to use later on down the line when you do get some sort of like social media pages, because you need it. It's a good way to get yourself out there.
Of course it is.
Good thing to promote.
Amazing. That's great. So you're gonna sign off now, and we're gonna get you to sing us a song.
Super.
What song are you gonna do?
What song are you going to give us? You're going to give us Sunshine. Brilliant, good choice. So this is going to be Big Phil with Sunshine. You're going to hear him centre stage on Friday the 5th of August.
Here at
number one, the Crescent in Selby. Shout out again.
Shout out to the girls over there.
Yeah, shout out to Anna and Chris. Whoop, 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 whoop. And so give us a couple of minutes and we're going to edit all the bits in between out. And so you're going to be seeing Phil next.
Cheers, Phil.
Thanks, Phil.
No worries, thank you.